Hi guys, it's Allie with Chaos Monkey, and I wanted to do a video on a yarn review for the Kartopu, I want to say Matryoshka Lux. Matryoshka? This is from Hobium, and I was using the color S0H2156. And this is the one, the Lux is the one that has the metallic in it. So it has 72% acrylic, 14% wool, and 10% Lincoln, and 4% metallic. And I don't know what the Lincoln is. I'm going to have to look that up. I thought it was also the metallic, but since they have it listed separately, interesting. If anybody knows what the Lincoln is, just leave me, tell me in the comments. So I made a Mobius cowl, and let me tell you the yardage. This had, where is it? It's always written really small, 875 yards. So my goal was to use the entire thing. This was the first one I'd ever gotten, and I'd been trying to get them for a while, but they were sold out in the colors I wanted. So these colors were, I thought, more like grays. Various colors of gray is what it looked like in the cake. But as you can see, hopefully in this lighting, it actually ended up being more like browns and greens. So it's actually green, brown, and beige, which I still like. I just thought it was more in the gray family, but it is a gray-green and kind of a gray-brown, so I like it just fine. So what I did was I used a Mobius cowl pattern by, oh no, who was it from? It'll come to me in a second because I don't have it on paper because it wasn't complicated enough to print out. But it will come to me. So then give me a second. But it was a very simple Mobius pattern. She just used double crochet through the whole thing, but I did modify it and put in a row of just mesh, just a chain one and then a double crochet every 2 rows just to mix it up because, again, this is a fingering weight, you guys, so it took a while to get this done. This was kind of a no-brainer, just kind of watching a podcast type of piece because it is, it is pretty monotonous. But I did want a simple piece because of the color. I didn't want to do anything that was going to, anything complicated to distract from the color changing because the color changing, is kind of like the whole point. And because I did it the long way, the stripes actually almost like let me see if I can show you where the color changes happen. Now it is a Mobius, so it does have a twist in it, an intentional twist. Here is my beginning and here is my end. So as you can see, I started here, and then with a Mobius you end up working on both sides like this because of the twist in the middle. So this was actually the start point, which is right in the middle, and then here was my end point, and this is actually how much yarn I had. So this is how much I started with, so I actually left the little tag they put on there, on it. This is from the center pole. Left it on there, and this is literally how much I had left. So I used the entire skein on this piece. It is really, really long. You can double it. You can wear it single. You can double it. There's the twist. It's wide enough to use as a hood. So I don't know if you can see, it's so wide. That you can use it as a scooty, so you can put it over your head, use the rest as a scarf, put it over your head, double it around the neck. It's really nice to work with, but let me tell you what I did in case you want to try to do the same thing. Now you can see my gauge was fairly loose, but not crazy loose, but nice and not too firm because I wanted a lot of drape. For me, I used a size H hook, and it's all just double crochets and then some of the chain 1 double crochets, chain 1 double crochets. And on the very edge, the very last round, which would have edged the whole thing, right, because it's pretty much reversible except for this last edge, which you don't even notice. See, there's the single crochet, and then of course you'll see on the other side that it's the only part that's really not reversible. But I did have to do a single crochet on the very last round because I tried to do one last double crochet and I ran out halfway. So I determined at that point I'm going to drop down to a single crochet and I should get twice as far, and I did. I got all the way to the end to where you saw I had like, what, 2 inches left? Where's my beginning? So, and then I'll go into how I like the yarn. So yeah, so you can see here, this is how much I had left doing the single crochet on the very last round, if you want to try to do the same thing. I really like this yarn a lot. It was really nice to work with. It didn't split. It's really soft. I was afraid it wouldn't be as soft with the metallic in it. It is still really soft. You can feel the metallic, but it's not scratchy. I haven't worn it for a long period of time, so I can't tell you if this might irritate your neck, but since it's more of an outer piece, like over something like a long sleeve shirt or even a jacket, I don't think it'll be an issue. But again, I haven't given it the old try of wearing it for a while to see if it gets super itchy. But do consider that it also has wool. So if you're sensitive to wool, you're going to get itchy no matter what, whether the metallic is in there or not. I'm pretty good with wools. I'm trying to train myself not to get super irritated with them. But I do like wool. I like wearing wool. I like working with wool. But I am a little sensitive to it. So I'm kind of trying to get myself out of that. It could also just be because I have other issues and I'm just overly sensitive. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how the seam looks. So you can see on this side it's pretty much completely seamless. This is the side that I was pretty much, you know, you'd hit the end of the color and then have to do a chain up to do the next round. So you can see a little bit of a little joggy join here, but it's not bad at all. It's mostly because of the color changing is what you're seeing. So on this half, it's like a solid, you're going around solid, and then here was where you actually had to do the next row up on the Mobius, so you will see the color change. So the color actually went through my entire Mobius and ended right at the seam. So that was just awesome. The whole thing worked out really nicely. Because that's another thing I was worried is I wanted to see the colors, but I didn't want it to be jogging in the middle of the piece. So as you can see, this is pretty much the majority of the piece. And as long as you put the seam like in the back of your neck, you're not going to see a jog anywhere with the way I did it. Here you can see a little bit of the, I started with the beige in the middle. So you can see a tiny bit of that in the middle, but it doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, this was definitely a really, really nice piece. I didn't want to do a shawl, and I really like the Mobius cowl in this yarn. So I loved working with it. I do want to get the other colors, like a few, I think there was 2 or 3 of the other colors I wanted to make, get to make the piece. I haven't washed and blocked it yet, so I did try to go fairly loose with the single crochet so it wouldn't roll too much. But I'm hoping after I wash and block, this might relax a little bit more. But even if the edge rolls up a little bit, you're going to have the whole thing twisted in a Mobius around you. You're never going to see that little edge give you a hard time. So, but yeah, I used the entire thing. All double crochets and then the single crochet on the very last border. Again on a size H. So if you hit around similar to the similar gauge that I did, you might be able to do the same thing. Sorry, my lighting just changed. It got really overcast. Ugh. Okay. So anyways, the colors are pretty true to what you're seeing. They're a little brighter than what's coming up on camera, but you can see how it's more of a green and a brown than the grays I thought they were. Oh no, you can kind of see there, Ooh, that went way too dark. But I tried to film when it was sunny, and of course as soon as I started filming, the clouds came. But anyway, I will show some pictures of on the mannequin so you can actually see the length of this guy. This is probably about, I would say like 4 feet long. So 8 feet total in the Mobius. And it does have a really pretty twist in the middle. And I can't remember who it was. What was her name? That was the pattern. Okay, I looked her up. I had to stop filming because I could not remember her name. It's actually Nastasia. So it's Donna Wolf with Nastasia.com. So she did this pattern. So, and she has a really nice YouTube video to show you how to start it. So basically you chain as many as you need to chain. I didn't follow her example because she was using a bulky and I was using a fingering weight. So I just chained as many as I thought I needed to get this length. I will try to count my stitches and put them in this description box below. So if anybody wants to try to do what I did with one of these yarns, you kind of need to know how many chain to start. So I'll try to do a count and then I'll put that down below because I completely forgot to try to count it before I started filming. But I can tell you how many I chained, and then you can go to her video, which I will also link down below in the description box, to figure out how to start the Mobius, and then it's just basically just autopilot from there. But like I said, I really like the yarn. I would definitely buy it again. I've liked almost all the Hobium yarns I've tried, so I'm really happy with it. And then I'll go ahead and weave these ends in now and wash and block it, and I'll count the stitches though before I do that to give you an idea of how many I chained. And I think that's it. And it is Nastasia. She does have YouTube channels. I don't know if her stuff's on Ravelry or not. Probably is. But I always find her on YouTube, and all of her patterns are free. So this one is called How to Crochet a Mobius Twist Shawl / like hooded cowl Mobius wrap. And that's the pattern I used. So, and in case you don't know, if you look down in down below this video, you'll see more. If you click on that, that's the description box. And I'll try to put as much information in there as I can. So I just wanted to show you guys what I made. I will try to show some footage of it on the mannequin so you can actually get an idea of how big it is. And just keep in mind my mannequin is really skinny. So try to keep that in mind whenever you're doing your proportions. She was a fashion mannequin from a store, so she's not like real proportions. So just keep in mind that this might look really big on her. And it is really good sized, but maybe not quite as big as it will look on my mannequin. Alright you guys, I'll talk to you later, and bye. Hi guys, I just wanted to show you on the mannequin how long the piece is. Now my lighting is pretty bad because she's being backlit instead of frontlit. There we go. But you can see how long the piece is, and then you can, of course, fold it. Try to do this one-handed. And you can see how much it folds up. It's a really long piece, and then of course this is so wide that you can use it as a skitty, which means you can wrap that over your head and have it, you know, hang down, or you can double loop and still have part of it over your head as a hood. Sorry, my lighting isn't the best, but I really like the sparkle in there. And it's going to be really fun to wear when it's colder. So let me back up if I can with a little bit of better light there. So you could wear it down, like if you were a little bit dressed up, because this has all the sparkle and the really neutral colors. Or you could fold it double and keep super warm, or wear it as a skitty and leave it down. There's all kinds of awesome options there. See the sparkle. There you go. I can get some sparkle in there. So, okay.